Hi guys, Simon Drizzellian here, and I just thought I'd chip in about the election that was held last night. Quite a historic thing. So first of all, of course, as a disclaimer, I'm British, so I didn't vote, can't vote here. But what earns me the right to even comment on this? Well, as you know, I spend a lot of time in military intelligence and certainly involved in the securing and overthrow of countries. I was one of the security advisors to Margaret Thatcher during the 80s. So I know a little bit about things, and I know a lot about people. So what I wanted to say first of all is that I don't believe that Trump actually won the election. I think that Hillary lost the election, and I'll tell you why. Now, the thing is that you've got to understand people. Now, people are incredibly predictable, but as we saw last night, a lot of people are saying, well, people are unpredictable. Well, it's not actually true. What I do see is that there are a lot of losers from last night, and certainly the losers are not necessarily the American people. The losers are going to be the elite that have run this country and run the banks and big pharmaceuticals and big oil and big industry and big media, you know, for a lot of years. So those people are going to be running for the hills now. We're seeing, you know, a lot of money wiped off the stock market for that, and that will bounce back, but that's just, you know, a symptom at the present time. When you actually look at the reality, see, from an intelligence point of view, you can listen to hearsay, you can listen to opinion, but that's not necessarily true. It's not necessarily the accurate things of what is actually happening on the ground. So many times in intelligence we would get these reports coming in that actually were either what we wanted to hear, what we thought was actually desirable, but when we actually got onto the ground, we actually found that there was a difference, a different form of reality. Now, we saw that with Bernie Sanders. You know, when Bernie Sanders came in, it was a movement, it was a grassroots movement, and we saw that the amount of people he was able to attract, you know, at a rally was very different to Clinton, and yet Clinton won, and we were told all the way through that, you know, she was the popular vote, which didn't really seem to be accurate when you looked at the reality. Same thing with Trump, you know, she was, you know, we're constantly told that Clinton was winning in the polls, it was a done deal, you know, even Newsweek sort of put her on the cover. That's a lot of printing that's going to have to be mushed now. But the reality is that tens and tens of thousands were turning up in reality to show support, not necessarily for Trump, but against the establishment. So the American people have spoken, and they want change. Now, the problem is that when you have a leftist agenda, it always tends to pander to minorities and special interest groups. Now, what that does, whilst it may be trendy, it may be PC, they are still minority groups. They are fringe groups. They are a very small percentage. And when you put a lot of effort into pandering to the agendas of a very small amount of people, you actually create more division with your majority. And we live in a democratic society which actually works for the majority. So you cannot dismiss the majority, and you cannot just take for granted grassroots people that have always voted Democrat. That's why she lost. You know, she thought, well, we're always going to have the blacks, well, we're always going to have the Hispanics, we're always going to have the unions, we're always going to have the blue collar. That's not true. Because the fact of the matter is, over the last generation, those people have been taken for granted. They've been taken for a ride, and they haven't been able, you know, the Democratic Party haven't been able to deliver what they said they were promised to their grassroots people. And that's a real shame. So what is actually happening is that there has now been what they're calling, oh, well, it's a populist movement. What does that mean? A populist movement. It means it is popular. It means that more people believe in that than they believe in anything else. You have to listen to the people. The people are powerful. And right now, today, people have seen exactly what that means. They have seen what a popular movement is. And it's not about the fact that they like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is probably one of the most reviled people, you know, on the planet for a lot of reasons, mostly because of media hype. The big loser in this is the media. They have shown to be complicit in lying, in falsifying facts, in fudging figures. No one believes the media anymore. People are switching off the TV in their droves, and so they should. Because who owns the media? You see who owns the media, and the media will say what their owners tell them to say. It's an agenda. You have to listen to the people. Now, what Hillary did wrong is that she lost touch with the people. You know, she didn't do a press conference for like 280 days. Are you kidding me? During a campaign? You know, most of the campaign she was missing in action. Now, I know she was ill, but you've got to do something. And then all of her fans, she had very, very loyal fans, which is amazingly commendable. But what did she do on election night? She sent Podesta, I mean, probably, again, one of the real thorns in the side of the campaign, to say, everyone just go home. I mean, that was, unforgivable. You know, the amount of energy and effort and love and everything that was given to Hillary Clinton by her supporters, and she left them in the lurch last night. Now, she redeemed herself this morning. Great speech this morning. In fact, both candidates, amazingly gracious speeches. And I think that gave me a little bit of heart to see that there may well be some, hopefully, some repair of the division. If they can work together, then they have a chance. Now, there is a lot of agendas out there that don't want this. They want the divide and conquer. They want the divide and rule. And you're seeing that from the elite. I mean, as soon as the Bushies started coming out on behalf of Clinton, you realize that this is an establishment versus the people. You know, this is a revolution. This is evolution in politics, and it will never, ever be the same again, I guarantee you. By the time we get to the next election, there will be real dealings with voter fraud. There will be the necessity for voter ID. There will be limitations on how long you can stay in Congress. There will be all these things. So really, we've turned a corner, I believe. And this is not just America. We've seen this with Brexit. We're going to see that throughout the whole of the European Union as well. You know, people are realizing that they've been duped for generations. And the elite have taken people for granted. And I think that we are on the cusp of an incredible opportunity to get together, not only as a nation, but as a world. You know, I want to see more female leaders out. Females, most of the time, don't go to war. You know, female leaders don't go to war. They'll protect what is theirs, as we saw with the Thatcher years. And I was involved in that part. But female leaders don't go and invade countries. They give birth to life, you know. We need more female leadership, but we need good female leadership. And just because Hillary was a female did not earn her the right of the people to trust that. You know, we need the right woman with the right ideas, with the right vision, with the right heart, for the right reasons. And if we can do that, that is going to change. That's going to be a massive change for the way that life has gone. Now, the other thing that I keep hearing is that, oh, it's all about, you know, that the problem was old white people. Well, I mean, excuse me for being white, excuse everyone else for being white. You've got to remember that the United States of America was formed by old white guys. You know, the blood of Gettysburg and Bull Run was old white guys fighting for Afro-American rights. That's what old white guys were doing. Now, the fact is that you can't just disenfranchise the people that have actually earned a right to be in this country and be proud to have been the founders of the country. So let's just talk about equality, but real equality. You know, we are not going to be pushing the needle to the opposite side. Everyone needs to get on. You know, we're all humans on this very small speck of dust called planet Earth. And the quicker that we can learn to live together and work together and love each other, we will throw off the shackles of the elite, we will throw off the shackles of the old, and embrace a new world. But not a new world order, but a brave new world, where everyone can actually aspire to the dreams that they have inside them. This is me, Simon Trezellian, just giving my thoughts. It's merely opinion, that's all it is. Take care now. Bye-bye. God bless.